Do you know what a plasma reactor is? Well, today, Christine, Mara, Vijay, and Asia are going to show you how we created one in a bottle. The purpose of creating a plasma reactor in a bottle is to broaden our horizons of understanding to realize there is a plasma field flow in every state of matter and beyond. What is presented in this video breaks the laws of known physics, and you are able to see that we are submerged in plasma fields that are observable and measurable also in the matter state. Energy production is one aspect of this video through which we begin to understand the creation of gravity. The development of this new technology has become possible through a new understanding of the creation of gravity and ability to replicate it in a simple bottle.
So let's talk a little bit about the man behind it all. Mehran Tavakkoli Keshe, or MT Keshe for short, was born in Iran in 1958 as the son of an X-ray engineer. He was introduced to the world of radiation and nuclear science at a very young age. Fast forward to 1981, he graduated from Queen Mary, the University of London, as a nuclear engineer specialized in reactor technology system control. At that time, he developed a number of theoretical ideas related to more simpler nuclear concepts and their applications, and the possibilities of using double magnetic fields inside reactors. These ideas were not accepted for testing by the nuclear industry, so he decided to enter into private international trading. In 2002, while running his private business, he developed further his nuclear concepts and finished the full design of his ideas about nuclear technology, the production of gravity and anti-gravity, also the generation of energy through the use of nuclear material in a clean and safe hydrogen-fueled reactor. Mehran Keshe introduced the concept of double magnetic fields to explain the magnetic and gravitational field of Earth. And in class, we didn't really learn much about how or where gravity comes from, but here, as we can see, Keshe has demonstrated, or at least has a basic understanding of how gravity works. In 2005, several static plasma reactors were built, which proved the theoretical insights stated before. These static reactors work at room temperature and at a normal atmospheric pressure, like our everyday lives. These reactors provide voltage, current, and deposits of pure carbon layers. Since the beginning of 2006, several prototypes of dynamic reactors were built, some specifically designed to create hovering effects, similar to effects seen with magnetic levitation. A cool fun fact in 2012, when a United States advanced military drone spying above Iran territory in the no-fly zone was captured by Iran on the date of December 4th, 2011. The drone was not crashed, not shot out of the air, but safely captured by an Iranian aircraft based on Keshe technology. Obama asked politely to get their drone back. Now, Keshe published his very first book in 2009, called The Universal Order of Creation of Matters. One of the topics discussed in this book is how matter, antimatter, and dark matter are created in the universe. His second book was published in 2011 called The Structure of Light. With the present knowledge in the plasma technology and the new understanding of the internal structure of the plasma, the light is and can be considered to be cylindrical plasma, where the plasma of the light is in possession of all three magnetic fields strength of the matters of the plasma, the principal, transition, and the matter magnetic fields. In his third book, also published in 2011, called The Origin of the Universe. In this book, MT Keshe is explaining further the operation and interaction of bigger cells of the same fields, which then leads to the creation of the man's universe and more, and what is too much for the man to understand with his present scientific knowledge, and he calls it the universe. A quote by MT Keshe was, "As I said, I was teaching them how to make gold. I said, to make gold, we need mercury and one neutron. And they looked at me, but gold is one neutron less atomically than mercury. I said, yes, if you want to take a proton, a neutron, and an electron out of mercury to make it gold, it is a lot of work. But if you put one neutron in the mercury, which immediately changes to a proton and an electron, then you have unstable mercury, which becomes gold and helium, and we can push it to become energy." MT Keshe is introducing to humanity the science of the universe, plasma science, through the Keshe Foundation, an independent, non-profit, non-religious, space-based organization. The Keshe Foundation develops universal knowledge and space technologies that provide solutions to major global problems, like revolutionizing health, food and agriculture, energy, environment, transportation, and much more. Through plasma science and technology, humanity may finally learn about the reality of the world of creation, finding answers even for things previously unexplainable. Humanity must also learn about the ethos of universal community, why we are here, what our purpose is, and how humankind shall comprehend the real value of peace, implement and maintain it on the planet Earth first, and afterward live in peace anywhere in space.
Now that you know about Keshe, we can now talk about our device and how we made it. The materials that we needed for this project were copper wires, which would act as an electrode, plastic bottle, hot glue, and a drill. The very first step is to drill 2 to 5 holes on the side of the bottle in which we will insert each electrode. We needed to make sure that the electrodes do not touch one another as they are independent of each other. The next step is to take the hot glue to seal the holes around the electrodes to make sure that it is airtight. Now that we created our device, we can now create our catalyst. The materials that we need are half a cup of lemon lime soda, potassium hydroxide, and safety equipment such as gloves and goggles. The first step is to take half a cup of lemon lime soda and mix it with 1 teaspoon of potassium hydroxide. After a few seconds, we already noticed that there was a change in color. The next step is to pour the solution into the bottle and screw the cap on. Next step is to wait 15 to 30 minutes for the catalyst to sit. After waiting 30 minutes, we took our multimeter and read the energy output from the bottle, and in our case, it read 60 millivolts. The next step is to take the solution out of the bottle and wait 15 to 30 minutes to repeat the measurements. After 30 minutes, we took the multimeter and measured it again. To our surprise, it was lower than expected because in our research, it was supposed to increase instead of decrease. Therefore, we did the experiment once again and we made sure that our bottle was airtight. Unfortunately, we got the same result as trial number 1.
You might be wondering where the energy in our plastic bottle comes from. Well, the creation of electrical energy in the plastic bottle reactor is achieved through the process of hydrogen ionization. The electrodes placed in the bottle from the physical point of view are independent of each other as they are not touching. This setup forms an open circuit inside the bottle like an on-off switch. The circuit is off when it's open and it is on when it's closed. Our project relates to science because it widens our understanding about our universe and helps us realize that plasma fields flow in every state of matter. Through our experiment, we are able to find that we are submerged in plasma fields that are both observable and measurable. Also, through current physics and electrodynamics, it's not possible to close a circuit and still generate electricity just from the air within the bottle. But through this multimeter, it clearly verifies that there is a potential difference in charge between the two electrodes that's part of the circuit. This simple experiment redefines the laws of physics and our perception of matter and confirms that plasma fields flow in between the electrodes in this environment.
With further development of this fairly new technology, there could come a time where the world no longer needs to use fossil fuels to create energy. Clean, sustainable energy is now possible, and awareness must be spread. Of course, oil and gas companies would suffer bankruptcy from this discovery, and millions would lose their jobs. However, the cost is necessary for the betterment of our planet. We want our children and our children's children to grow in a world where they don't have to worry about irreversible climate change, polluted oceans, air, and ecosystems. We have the responsibility to take every chance we have to collectively stand for what is right, what is for the future. Big corporations have been selfish in this matter. Money is what they search for. But what good use is money when you cannot use it? Money isn't the future, people are. We can stop climate change in its tracks by converting to new unlimited energy. A question many of you are probably thinking is, why haven't we begun to implement this energy into our daily lives? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the government does not want this information to become popular. By publishing its findings publicly, it is hard for the media to silence Keshe. However, there is still further research and development that must be done and ramifications that must be considered in order to implement this technology to the global scale. All in all, we as a group learned so much about this new plasma technology, which proved valuable since we had the opportunity to inform you guys about this good news, plasma energy.